Family man.
Yeah,
Hey,
for real.
man.
For real. That's how we're gonna start it off. What up? It's the family man.
What up?
Back
Family
at it
man.
again,
Yeah,
man.
you ain't lying.
Uno, dos, tres. Three amigos.
As you can see, I got grandkids. But so speaking of family, man, boy.
Sean will forever age himself. He don't care.
Yeah, he don't care. Even though black don't crack, but whatever.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
man. All right, look here, man.
What up?
What's
Introduce ourselves first.
well, my name,
Hey.
my hashtag says it all.
Yeah.
I'm still representing as always. Got to keep it in the boot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the You Know Nothing About Sports podcast. Well, I will say this. We do know something because we were 7 of 7 and we got 9 out of the 32 picks right in the first round.
Right.
We got the first 7.
10?
Maybe
was
10.
it 9 or 10?
We got the
because I think it was
we got
10,
the first 7 right.
We got Gray Zabel to Seattle.
Okay.
Or did we?
Okay.
Or did we? No. It was another one. We got. No. It was the kid from Pittsburgh whose mom just passed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Harmon.
We got.
Well, we started out 7 for 7, and then Dave Tepper had to ruin
it. Man,
really, Brandon. Dave Tepper had to ruin our perfect draft, which we'll post on our YouTube. But yeah,
for real. But I appreciate him though, because had he not done what he did, Terry wouldn't have been able to do what he did, bro. But you know, we're gonna go in order. Like we're gonna go in order. Yeah. Saints picked that 9. Whatever brown kid y'all took. Yeah.
Now we can start off with the headline that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, let's start off with the headline. Let's get that out of the way.
Everyone.
Yeah, man. It's it's Saturday morning, Saturday, April 26th, and we'll be going through rounds 4 through 7 today. Mm-hmm. And Shedeur Sanders' name has still not been called. Still not been called. Just a week ago, we were debating if he will fall out of the first round.
Yeah.
But he's falling like the stock market after Trump took office.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look.
So what is it, man? Like, what is it? What is it? What do y'all think it is?
Sean, you said you had something.
Yeah, man. My theory, man. Here's my take on this, bro. My theory is that, and I've heard several people say this, because of his father, the way his father was, a lot of GMs didn't like his cocky attitude when he was playing. So the rumor is they're trying to get back at Deion Sanders through his son, trying to show Deion a lesson or teach Deion a lesson. I'm not sure which one they're trying to do. But if that's the case, man, that is so wrong. Because, and you're right, he's not, in my opinion, he's not a top, first round quarterback. I was pretty sure he's going to go in the second round. But when teams kept passing over him, I'm like, is this the Deion effect? But I'm thinking they're trying to get back. That's why I said before, is he paying, sins of the father? Go ahead,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that's part of it. I do believe that's part of it. I also believe that it does have a little bit to do with his abilities and his ceiling as a player. But I'm typically not the one to get into, I'm not one of them foil hat guys. I don't get into all the conspiracies, but it seems to me like it's some collusion going on, man. It's some collusion going on to not so much teach Deion a lesson, but teach the kid a lesson. And what kind of human beings are we dealing with here? Like this kid this kid has done nothing but succeed at, wherever he went, whether it was Jackson State or whether it was him peeling himself up off the turf repeatedly at Colorado because his dad can't recruit O-linemen. So what you have here is not only a talented quarterback, but also a resilient quarterback who got beat up in the pocket repeatedly 2 years at Colorado, but repeatedly peeled himself up off the turf and lit up the scoreboard, lit up the stats, lit up the scoreboard with less than ideal receivers. Have you heard any of their names called? No.
Nope.
Only one.
No. So I think Deion is a big part of it, but I think it's less about Deion and just more about, them trying to teach this kid a lesson because he's, he doesn't walk around here with a smile on his face. He speaks a certain way, he speaks confidently about himself. Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about it is this: we praise nepotism when it comes to the Mannings. Why can't we do the same? Why can't we do the same here?
And then B, to your point, he's a good kid. He doesn't do any. You don't hear his name out there getting in any kind of trouble. But
no,
once again,
Shiloh saying, yeah, that's different story.
That's different. But the thing is, one more thing, K-Man, I'll let you go.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that whatever team would draft him, it would be a distraction because of all the media and all the hype is going to bring to the locker room with him being Deion Sanders' son. Go ahead, K-Man.
So I think like a couple months ago when we were talking about quarterbacks, I told y'all Cam is better than him. I told y'all Shedeur was okay.
Yeah,
he's not fast. He doesn't have his father's speed. He doesn't have a rocket arm. Now I can't really judge him because he also didn't play in a big conference. He played at Jackson State, and then he played in the Pac-12 and then the Big 12. So those weren't the best of talent. That being said, everything else he has, he's very smart. He's a leader. He throws with accuracy, but he throws in anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
All things you need.
Right.
Who am I describing? Brock Purdy. Now Brock Purdy went to the 7th. But
good point.
I'm looking at the 20.
You a genius, bro.
I'm looking at and Brock Purdy about to get $50 million.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm looking at a 2011 draft, and Jake Locker went 8th, and Christian Ponder went 12th. The 2019 draft wasn't that far away. Drew Lock was 2nd round. Will Levis, who I told y'all was trash, hence the Cam Ward going number 1, he went in the 2nd round. So why isn't this kid going in the 2nd round? It reminds me of what happened 2 years ago when Lamar was on his 2nd franchise tag, and anybody could have signed him, and no one signed him. MVP, in my opinion, the best quarterback in this league, but no one signed him. The collusion. I'm telling you, it's the good old boy network. It's not Shedeur itself, but they're trying to make him an example, just like they try to make Lamar an example to other free-minded individuals who want to play that position going forward.
Yep. You
will toe the line. You will smile. You will do everything we say. You will not be an individual. I mean, let's be for real. One of the reasons why Aaron Rodgers dropped in 05 is because, and we see it now, but that's the reason why he dropped.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As opposed to Alex Smith. Alex Smith was that type.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Johnny Manziel dropped. He should have dropped. He was trash. But it was the end of it because Johnny Manziel had his own money.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came from oil money, but it's the individuality.
Yep.
Cam, I was reading some stuff. anonymous quotes about Cam in 2011. Why does he smile so much? All these things they don't like. They want cookie cutter. And then Brandon, you brought up nepotism. It's not even nepotism in players. It's nepotism in teams. Let's be for real. The coach of the Tennessee Titans only got his job because his daddy was in the league.
Because his dad, yeah.
The former Falcons head coach got a job because his daddy ran FedEx and had ties to, and it was part owner of the Commanders. Most of these people in this league who are head coaches Nathaniel Hackett only got jobs because his daddy used to be in the league. A lot of us think Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league. Nepotism. Kyle Shanahan, nepotism.
Kyle Shanahan, yeah.
Schottenheimer.
The Ryans are still getting TV jobs off of Buddy.
I'm not Rex, but Rob was still a coach last year for some damn reason.
Rex got an interview.
Yes,
this past cycle. He got an interview.
If you go through various rosters, you'll see somebody daddy used to be somebody granddaddy used to be somebody.
And that's what it is, K-Man. These general managers all hang out together. They're all talking. And I'm pretty sure they talk before the draft.
Yes, they talked at the players, the owners meeting 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They all worked at one point in time. When they were talking about George Paton has so many connections because George Paton is a scout. Scouts, they're all there at the same crappy hotel, looking at some player from school A or school B. From spring ball all the way until bowl season.
I wouldn't be surprised if these NFL owners learn from Daniel Snyder incident. I'm thinking they say, okay, we're not gonna get caught this time. Hey, let's get one of these cool tech guys to set up our own network, our own server, encrypt everything, and we can talk amongst ourselves and no one would know.
Signal chat, the Signal app.
Now you're going political.
No, I mean I looked it up. Someone asked me why I don't have it, and I'm like, because I don't need it. But I looked it up. It's a free software that has end-to-end encryption better than the iOS end-to-end encryption. So it's a lot of people like using it. I mean, they could be on a bunch of Signal chats saying, "Hey, let them fall."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
That'd be messed up, man.
Because if you think about it, Pittsburgh has no one. Skylar Thompson has no one. But the Rooneys are one of those families. So if the Rooneys make the move, don't make the move, they get the lay off. They get the lay off.
Rooney, and look, this is a perfect example. What you just said, K-Man. Do y'all know that the Giants and the Steelers are tied together in marriage?
Yep.
Why you think one of the kids is named Rooney Mara?
Two of them. Well, one of them's named Rooney Mara, but two daughters are actresses.
Yeah. The one girl was she was it the dragon with the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other one was in that god awful Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. Don't blame Michael B. Jordan. Speaking of that, I gotta go see Sinners. I don't like horror movies, but
me neither, man, but
I gotta go see it. I gotta go see it.
I heard it was dope. I heard
it was good,
and
I found out like about a week before it came out. It was mainly shot in Louisiana, not too far from. Well, it was mainly around Baton Rouge area in certain parts of Louisiana, and I think maybe a few parts of Mississippi. Because when I looked at the trailer, I'm like, man, it look like they're in a swamp or something, man. Then I looked it up. I said, okay.
To tie Sinners back to Shedeur, there's a lot of controversy with Sinners right now because of the deal that Ryan Coogler signed. Warner Brothers gave him the $90 million to make the movie, but he also, because Warner Brothers is desperate, he is who he is, and you want to be in business with a guy like that, he signed a deal where after 25 years, the movies reverse back to him. Now he have all these anonymous executives saying this is terrible for the movie business. This is terrible for the movie business. No, the movie business is dying. You lost Christopher Nolan because of your crap. So you want to get another Christopher Nolan. This is a great move for him. But the anonymous of people in the shadows trying to jump on a movie.
Well, K-Man, you just brought up another important point about the Sanders thing, man. And I'm going to say it's the word control, because a lot of teams, I'm pretty sure they were worried, like I said, if they draft Shedeur Sanders, what baggage is he going to bring to the team in the locker room? We probably won't be able to control it because Deion's his father. There's a control factor there. Then at the same time, I thought about it last night. Maybe a lot of these teams passed on him because his skill set may not fit their offensive plan.
BS.
I thought about it, B, and I said,
BS.
You
don't like the change to be moved? You don't like progression down the field? We don't like that? Okay, cool.
Look, if you and we got to move on, but if you look at the tape, right? Look at the film. Look at his film and look at Cam Ward's film. They're not all that different of a player. Cam just does these things better.
Yes.
He's better at improvising. He's better. He has more arm strength. He's a more accurate down the field thrower. He processes a little better, but these are things that Shedeur can still do, just not on the level of a Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Craziness, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Pick 9. New Orleans was on the clock. Who New Orleans picked, Sean?
See, now you're throwing Jackson darts, man. Well, what are you doing, man? See, but
Since you did that.
but look, here's the thing, man. I understood why we took the guy Banks at the tackle, because we need a tackle, and he's pretty good from what I watched him play. But here's the thing: that was a Loomis pick. Our second pick, that was all Kellen Moore.
Yep.
All Kellen Moore.
Go ahead.
Look, B, when we picked him, I said, okay, we got a tackle. And then when we passed over Sanders and took this guy, I said, I'm okay, we got the tackle. I'm like, who's he going to protect? Who is this tackle going to protect? And then we picked the guy from Louisville. And like I said, haven't watched him play, heard a bunch of stuff about him during the season, saying how he was a pro-ready quarterback. You know. But time will tell.
If y'all had a more seasoned head coach, if y'all had a veteran head coach, Shedeur would probably be a Saint today, right now. But because Kellen is he's green as a head coach, he don't want everything that comes along with, you know. He probably brought the name up. I would say he probably brought the name up, but then they said, all right, for real, stop playing. Who's next on your board? And lo and behold, some kid that no one heard of through the draft process, Tyler Shaw.
I heard.
Good luck with all that.
I heard about him through the season because I watch college football and I'm a channel flipper. I'm flipping channels, looking at highlights and stuff. I heard about him through the season, but this is another thing about Sanders, man. I think the reason the Saints didn't pick him, y'all remember the show Entourage, right?
Barely. Yeah, I remember.
On HBO. Oh, look, with Shedeur comes his entourage. Y'all seen all the ice he was wearing? He had a mic, he was rapping. He's legendary.
All right, so I don't have a problem with the Saints pick. The reason why, you're a god-awful franchise right now, and you have nothing in your cupboards. So you need to you picked at a premium position, even though I think you overdrafted. The second pick told me all I need to know about Kellen Moore's future in New Orleans. I'm actually glad Shedeur didn't go there because Shedeur would have been seen as a savior. You picked this, nobody quarterback. And so you can just say, hey, we having a camp body. Hey, we can give you hope. You're looking at 2026. You're looking at 2026 for QB. I know it. They know it. And but with Shedeur, it'd have been like put him in. So you can just rock out with what's it say?
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler, and then win 2 games. But you still have issues because you're already in the 2026 free agency class. You're already $50 million over the cap already.
That's the problem.
So I got bigger issues.
That's what I don't understand, right? It's like the kid that y'all just took, Tyler Shaw, he ain't better than Spencer Rattler. He's not. Like Spencer Rattler got picked y'all picked him in the 5th round last year because last year was one of the craziest quarterback drafts we have ever seen, right?
Right.
But he wasn't 5th round bad. Spencer probably, he was maybe like a 3rd round talent. This kid, I mean,
overdrafting, especially once again for a team that's cupboards are bare. You could have used the edge. You could have used a corner. You could have used a D tackle.
A running back, bro.
We did get
trade down and draft for Marion Hampton.
We did get a D tackle. Another Texas kid.
The Collins?
No, the fat lazy kid.
The guy Broughton.
Yeah, he's fat and lazy. Congratulations.
And then look,
hey, he could hang out with Zion.
We did get a safety though.
Get them beignets.
we got a safety from Virginia.
IG models now.
But you know what?
I don't know if it's IG.
Hey man, look.
It's the other 2-letter model.
Yeah.
Hey man, look.
Oh yeah.
Look, yo, I felt my age last night. I was checking the draft, and this guy named Kevin Winston Jr. went to DeMatha, right? So in my mind, I'm like, dang, that name sounds familiar. It said Kevin Winston. I said, God, though. I said, I'm old. The dude's Kevin Winston Sr. I know the dude. He was Sean's PE coach at St. Francis on Pennsylvania Avenue in Southeast in D.C. Wow. And I'm looking, I'm like, hold on. I said, this dude's son, I forgot his son. I'm like, damn, his son that old now? I'm like, dang. And then I was like, I didn't know he went to DeMatha.
Wow.
Full circle, man.
All right, that's enough of that franchise. Let's move on to somebody who's actually killing it. Bro, first off, thank you to David Tepper. We appreciate you overdrafting Teteroa McMillan. You know, good receiver. I don't really have anything bad to say about him besides he's slow and y'all needed speed. But anyways, that caused one super talented Georgia edge to fall to 15, Jalen Walker. Now, I wasn't really considering Jalen Walker seriously as a pick at 15 because I just didn't think he would be there, right? Like I figured, and the fact that he wasn't the first Georgia defender taken was a bit shocking to me, given that Michael Williams is, so raw. He has, all the measurables or whatnot. But Jalen Walker's a freak, bro. And he reminds me a lot of like a smaller Michael Parsons, like a diet Michael Parsons, if you will, in that the way Georgia used him, like they used him all over the field, and Raheem and Jeff Ulbrich is going to do the same thing with him. He's not going to have one identifiable position on this defense. He's going to get moved all around the field, and he's going to wreak havoc. Now, moving on to the kind of like blockbuster, if you will, us trading back into the 3rd round. We traded our 2nd round this year. We traded our 2nd round this year, traded our 1st round pick next year to move up to 26 to take James Pierce Jr. Now, James Pierce Jr. was originally my pick at 15, but when Mike Green's name started surfacing, and we started hearing about the hype, and I started checking him out, I kind of started moving towards Mike Green, right? But to be able to get James Pierce Jr., who probably has the second best first step in this draft behind Abdul Carter, off the edge, is that like that was an incredible. That was an incredible move, in my opinion. And then just last night, moving up in the third round, trading with the Eagles, trading for a ball hawk, right? One of the best ball hawks in this draft, Xavier.
I know you're talking about.
Gosh, I forgot his last name already, but the kid from Notre Dame, the safety from Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a ball hawk. I think he has like 16 interceptions over the course of his collegiate career. Ball hawk to go beside Jesse Bates. That means that we don't have to dip back into the Justin Simmons pool. We can throw this kid in and let him cook. All in all, man, up until this point, we only had 5 picks to work with in this draft. And bro, hats off to Terry, man. Cook, Terry. Kennedy, the floor is yours.
You gave up a 1 next year for a defensive tackle.
Okay.
Now we went over last year. We went over last year that hey, next year's draft isn't that great, but a 1 though.
Hey,
you see did you see what the Giants gave up for?
What my man Les Snead say? I was gonna put it in my avatar, but it's a family show, so I decided not to. What my man Les Snead say?
F them picks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, the draft allocation doesn't make sense. You traded a first to get back in, while the Giants gave up like a 5th or something, and they got a quarterback, the premium position to get. Now, edge is a premium position, but not the premium position.
Who's a better player, Jackson Dart or James Pierce Jr.?
James Pierce Jr. Jackson Dart's a bust.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into that later. Because the reason why I called them the reason why original headline I had them as losers is because it is not Jackson Dart's fault. He's gonna be a bust because you got drafted to a place. When next year, when the new head coach and the new GM come in, they ain't gonna want you.
So for the better part of the last decade, the Falcons have struggled rushing the passer.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Pretty much ever since John Abraham, right? So they've struggled. It's been a thing, right? And they haven't addressed the position in the first round. They haven't gone after a dog. They haven't gone after a guy. So we get a beautiful draft where the first 2.5 rounds pretty stock full of pretty good guys, right? Pretty good edges. So you take that and you get not 1 but 2 really good edges out of this class. It's a move we had. It's a move we had to make. We didn't have the picks this year to trade.
And B,
so we had to throw in a first for next year.
B,
So be it.
I see what the Falcons doing. They're being sneaky, K-Man. This is what they're doing.
What they doing?
If you look at our division,
easy.
They don't. Number 1, number 2, they don't really have mobile quarterbacks. So with those guys coming off the edge, they're gonna either sack the quarterback or cause some kind of havoc or fumble.
I know.
Or in some interception.
I know what they're doing because the pass rush, the pick they had last year who tore his ACL, so he's coming back. So
Trice,
yeah. So they're gonna try to get you a NASCAR package and just overwhelm. I mean, I know Raheem. He's gonna try that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an allocation. It's just my front office mind it's like first round. Because everybody says, "Oh, this draft is not," and then these kids, they're kids. They get stronger. They blossom, and all of a sudden, someone who was seen as a 4th round pick goes in for Joe Burrow, Cam Ward, Bo Nix. They all Jaden Daniels. They all were seen as third if they came out the year before. Now they all first round picks. You just see a growth because the kids, they grow.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, and I'll let you go. I don't have a problem with it from this standpoint. Number one, it shows aggression. It shows that Terry knows what our most glaring weaknesses are, and he's not afraid to address it. He's not afraid to attack it.
Defense.
Two, it shows unbelievable trust on Arthur Blank's part. Not only of Terry, but of Raheem and Jeff Ulbrich to kind of right this ship. And if y'all remember, like James Pierce Jr.'s name, he was mentioned in the top 20 frequently,
Yes.
top 15, top 15, top 20 picks when this process first started. The only thing that made him drop was here we go with the nitpicking stuff. They started questioning his desire to play football, his love for the game, right? And so I watched his press conference last night. He knocked his press conference out of the park. He still got to show up on the field and do it. But the answers that he gave during his press conference, man, that's not a guy who doesn't love football.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Ulbrich after they drafted. You saw him come out because I'm like, he was probably pounding the table for him. So yeah, I get it. And to my team, the Denver Broncos, once again, George Payton and Sean Payton duped me again. Last year, I thought it was all about JJ. And then this year, I thought it was all about a running back. Now, I think they had a running back in mind, but they knew if he didn't fall past 6, they weren't going to do the move because I think they were going to work. They had a deal worked out with maybe the embryos of a deal worked out with the Saints. If Ansher Gentry would have went down there, Hampton, I kept seeing him everywhere, and he was a consistent pick. But I guess they didn't think he was that good. And once again, running back isn't a premium position. They didn't think Jahdae Barron was going to be there, who some people had either the second or the third best corner in this draft.
Right.
Because of Will Johnson's knees, he was the second best corner. He failed. They put him in the star position. They want to put him in the star position, the nickel position. Once again, if you remember the last quarter of the season, we got torched. Jameis torched us because we didn't have depth. Joe Burrow in the playoff game with Josh Allen. We needed. This year has been about this offseason been about addressing defense. Vance Joseph, you are on the clock. There's a dude named Jen Leonard who got a new position title because they didn't want him to leave. If your defense isn't top 5 throughout the whole season and not doing good, you are gone, buddy. But if you do your job, we're going to get 2 third-round picks because you're going to be a head coach. So that was day one. I like the pick. It just threw me off. The second pick, RJ Harvey. I never heard of him. A small little bet. They comparing him to Darren Sproles. You know how Sean Payton loved Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
Pat Bryant, that is a Sean Payton wide receiver. Sean Payton does not like short wide receivers. He doesn't like speedy guys.
I told you.
He likes 6'2", rangy wide receivers. He wants
guys.
Marcus Colston, slant guard, Michael Thomas, wide receivers.
Position
type
guys.
He got that. I'm a little shocked that they didn't go D-tackle. And then and then they traded back up. Speaking of wheeling and dealing, not to the level of Terry Fontenot. George Payton, wheeling and dealing, moved back up in the third round and got a defensive end. Once again, another rotational piece. Also letting you know that John Franklin Myers will not be getting a contract extension. But all in all, a good draft they were drafting. Maybe I need to take my mind away from my Broncos of the way I see them. I always see them as a team that's building. Some of the moves they made is as a team that, no, we here. Yeah. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Brandon likes to call me Dark Clouds. I don't know, but.
I mean, you kind of graduated from that title last year. I mean, I'll give you. It's more of a light shower at this point.
Hey, B, you did it again, B. You did it again. Like your boy Kramer said. He went. I don't know who you really are.
Jerry's girlfriend is like a foot taller.
Yeah, you're way better looking than her. This must be the ugly girl.
Right.
I was in a spits for 2 hours. Give me a break.
That's what you did, B. That's not what
H&H Bagels.
You know who's a man? I'm a man.
Oh, man. Him?
Roy, he's a man. I'm a man.
I'm a man.
Hey, Kruger. My son says your
company
stinks.
You couldn't smooth a sheet if you had a hot date with the babe.
I lost my train
of thought.
Yo, man.
Oh, man.
Classic episode.
So, like, real quick, just go across the board. Just give your team an early grade after
that's
the
what I
first
was
3
gonna
rounds.
say. B. Go ahead, Kid, man.
I want to say before I give my team a grade, Newport News. Newport News, Virginia. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shout out to the 757.
Yeah, for real.
First 48 ID channel and cops all rolled into one.
Shout out to Mike Green, man. He finally got his name called last night.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Hope it works out. If it does work out.
Yeah.
Look out.
After the 3 rounds, you got 4 picks. I give my team a solid B+. I still would like to see defensive tackle, maybe Farmer from Florida State or Phillips from Maryland. I like to see another tight end. The Dan Browns took Harold Fannin Jr. Maybe Lachey, maybe, what's the name? Orlando Gaston the second. And then another running back, maybe Dylan Sampson, maybe the kid out of Texas Tech, maybe Devin Neal. So far a B+, because I'm glad they drafted a running back, and I'm glad they drafted in the second round because I want that running back room that we have right now. There's a bunch of young guys undrafted and a 5th round. Y'all don't notice. I mean, I know what's his name was the lead back last year. He's gone to Dallas. Good luck with that. But y'all don't notice. That run game was atrocious.
Yeah.
So B+ for me for the Denver Broncos so far.
Okay. All right. Sean, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go ahead and get my stuff over with, man.
You look distraught.
Oh.
Look pained in the face.
Man, I might as well start giving our team animal crackers. So look, man, I give my team as of right now. I understand the picks. I don't necessarily like the players. I understand the picks because they're addressing some needs. So I would give my team a C- right now. A C-. We with the rest of the rounds we have left, we have 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Normally I try not to get too excited, like overly excited during the middle of a draft, because I like to see how, the total package, like how we finish. But given that we only have 3 picks left, 1 pick in the 4th and 2 picks in the 7th, it's not a whole lot left that we can do as far as like drafting difference makers. However, there is a player that I want us to target in the 4th round if he's there. Sean, you know him. Zy Alexander, LSU cornerback. I need for us to go after him. He has the size, the speed. Yep. He's just a little raw, but I want us
fast as a
to
mug, yeah.
I want us to draft him as the eventual replacement to Mike Hughes, opposite AJ Terrell. But A plus, man. A plus, Terry. I mean, job well done, bro. Job well done. We didn't get cute in the first round. We didn't try to, go outside the box or, we took the best player available. The best player available. The guy who I had as the second best defender in the draft behind Abdul Carter. So hats off, Terry. A plus, bro.
B Wig. I was on record on this show telling y'all when y'all got Fontenot, I was pissed. I was like, how in the heck did we let this dude leave Louisiana? And then to go to the Falcons, I said, oh damn.
Yeah, Mickey ain't going nowhere.
I said, oh
Nah.
dang. And I already knew once y'all got, I said, man, because the rumor, I told y'all, the rumor around the same facility was that Fontenot was like the genius dude.
Yeah.
He soaked up a lot of stuff from Loomis and Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask y'all before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from your teams, which draft pick do you like the best for other teams?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, real good question.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville, man. Going up to get
Travis Hunter.
probably the single most talented player we may have, and then we don't know, but possibly since Deion.
Mm-hmm.
Just a unique player that can be elite on both sides. Now he's going to play probably 80-85% of his snaps on offense as wide receiver. But yeah, like Jacksonville going up to get Travis, man. Just recognizing the unique talent that he is. I like that pick. Honorable mention. Mike Green from Baltimore, man. Like, Mike Green was he was supposed to go top 15, top 20, and you get him in the third round.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I was thinking the Titan, what you call him for taking Cam Ward. That I think Cam. A lot of people didn't mention it, but I want to see him in that uniform. He might remind me of McNair when McNair was playing with the moves and processing things and the arm talent with the moxie. I think the Titans that Cam Ward did. My second was Green to the Ravens. B. That's going. Oh my! It's like when the Ravens drafted him, y'all. They putting Burrow, all those quarterbacks on notice.
Yeah.
I have three for me. It's Green. We're all consistent. I like the Green, and I love the structure we talked about in our group chat. The structure that the Ravens had, I like it. I like Green there. I like Golden to Green Bay. I love it.
Ooh, that's another good one.
I like that. The second one, you're gonna be a little bit shocked, and I said it in the text. I like Junkins to the Browns. I like that in that Kubiak McVay's offense. I'm saying it about Ohio State players. But I like that for them.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Pick. One of them that I didn't mention that I really liked. You not so much, Kennedy, was Amarion Hampton to the Chargers.
Yeah, that's going on. That's going on.
That's potentially a game changer.
Yeah, another Tomlinson.
Yeah.
That's
if you get Justin Herbert to stand up straight and keep him upright. The way you do that, run Amarion Hampton behind that line.
Oh, speaking of another one I liked. I like the Bears getting Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
Colston for me was the best tight end in this draft. I don't care what Tyler Warren did. Tyler Warren did what he did because they had no wide receivers.
Exactly. Yeah, I like the Loveland pick too, because you finally get the sense that the Bears are kind of turning a corner. Like the picks that they're making, they're like responsible picks, right? They're not these what are y'all doing? They're not like these Saints types picks. Yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing strays. These types of Saints picks where you want like scratching your head, wondering like, okay.
We
got 14. We got 14 people in the chat. I mean, streaming right now.
We just had 18.
Oh, thank you.
And look, to that point about the Bears, man. This was my thought process around the Bears. They're going to do either two things. They're going to bulk up their offense or bulk up their defense. Now, here's the thing. You got to think with teams like that. You got William Caleb, a decent quarterback. Now you got a good running. You got a running game. You got a tight end. You got weapons, right? So they're going to bulk up their offense to put points on the board. So the only thing is they're playing what I call a long game. They're going to put more points up on the board, and hopefully their defense won't give up that many points.
Yeah. But I like what they're doing, and Methadone, they're going to fire everybody, so Tyler Warren's going to be wasted. But that being said, this was another great pod. It was real fun. Continue to watch the draft, everyone. All 19 people that are currently streaming, please like, subscribe, share.
20. It was just at 20.
Oh, 20. Please like, subscribe, share.
Speaking of blowing stuff up, y'all.
Join the
real quick, Sean. We got to bounce.
Speaking of blowing stuff up, the Giants. If Jackson Dart doesn't work out,
it's already
going. Yeah, they all getting fired. They're all getting fired.
Yeah, that pick just pulled the pin out of the grenade. It was already.
I feel sorry for that poor young man because he's going to be in the UFL by 2028.
Oh man, that's wild, there, man.
Facts.
Yep.
Anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all
look at the bottom.
Said,
like,
share, subscribe, bro.
You
may not catch us every Saturday, but when we are here, we do deliver quality content.
Comment too.
Yep. Drop a comment, drop a like, man. Hit us up. Till the next one.
All right.
This guy.
See you.
Holla.
Holla.
Peace.